All right, my friends, welcome to episode 358 of Prof and Dev Play Games. My name is Larry, the professor at Prof Plays Games on Elon Musk's hellscape. Over there is Anthony, the dev at Summerspeak. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. Does he own a podcasting service yet?
Fuck, maybe. Does Twitter have its own podcasting service?
I don't know. I did realize. I mean, he's now calling himself the CEO of Twitter. Is he the CEO of like every company I think he owns?
He was like King Cuck or whatever he fucking named himself. Probably not King Cuck, but whatever it was of Chief, Tesla.
Okay, but I mean
he's the
it's
CEO,
funny.
Basically. Yeah, right.
CEO. He calls himself CEO of these different things, and I'm like, I don't think you can be CEO of 4 companies at all, or you're proving that CEOs do nothing.
Oh, I think CEOs do nothing, right? They just like, here's a few ideas. You go and make them happen.
Kind of. I mean, I've had good CEOs. Like, PopCap CEO was
companies though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where they're pretty involved and pretty invested and need to be. They're definitely not just being like, hey, let's do this idea. They're doing a lot more.
Yeah, I feel like at a small company that makes a lot of sense.
I guess at the bigger company, which I haven't been at, maybe that doesn't matter. Maybe they're just, well, I guess you're just a face person at that point.
You had a CEO at EA when EA bought PopCap.
I know. He seemed kind of like a face company person.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, it's just like face man going around doing deals. But
speaking of this is a sidetrack. This is a sidetrack, sort of. Speaking of face man, Mark Zuckerberg has lost a lot of money. In the last
that's a good thing to talk. We could talk about.
What's that?
Did
word?
you see?
Oh my
was
god!
It Spencer roasted them.
Phil Spencer? No. What?
He
right.
roasted the metaverse. It was really funny, and he walked it back a little bit, in a way of like, I kid. But
he just rips them apart. And he's like, oh, just jokes, guy.
It was just like one line.
Oh, in that interview he had? Where he's like...
Yeah, he's like, the metaverse just seems like a poorly built video game. It was really funny. It was just like...
It is. He's right.
He's not wrong, and like anyone who's made games, we look at it and we're like, what's this? What'd you spend this money on?
It's a poorly built video game.
This is it?
Building a metaverse that looks like a meeting room, I just find that's not where I want to spend most of my time. Like, I want to get away from those meetings. I don't want to go into a virtual meeting with like dumbass fucking shit.
The last thing let's see, Snap and Apple execs push back on Metaverse 2. Like, a lot of people are like, no. And it's true. What, like, Meta, the company, is pushing is this like very sterile kind of thing of like, yeah, you put on your VR goggles and look at, you're sitting in this very boring space with like PS3 level graphics.
That's exactly.
Because this is exactly what we dreamed of when we thought of VR.
Right.
Like,
I want to sit in meetings. None of this. I mean, VR, like the great experiences people have on PC, the games, and then PlayStation, the games, like people are still not wanting to live their life there. Like, it's like,
no,
I don't know. I have a VR rig and I play every once in a while, and that's kind of it. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know if he's like just chasing something because he's missed the TikTok bandwagon or whatever. But fuck, how much money Meta has just crashed is just gorgeous.
They spent a lot of money to have not a whole lot to show for it, and I would also go like, this is why where Phil Spencer says it looks like a poorly made video game. It's like, well, you probably want people who actually like, not video game people per se, but you want people who make entertainment products. Would probably be the best place to look first when building this, not just your very smart engineers that build online tech.
Yeah.
There's an art to it beyond just a science to it. So fun times for them, but it makes me laugh every time.
I've not wanted to see a company fail as much as Facebook. I'm just so excited to see it. Next is Twitter, I guess.
Twitter's off the exchange now
Yeah, exactly.
as well. It's just completely private again, so we won't know.
Yep.
I mean, and I guarantee you Musk won't say if it's failing or not. So,
Yeah.
but I think he'll follow the thing that I said. He'll eventually just get bored of it, and he won't talk about it or do anything with it, and it will just sit there rotting.
He'll unban Trump, put Kanye back on there. Like, all right, have fun. Comedy's back. Or whatever he said when he got back on Twitter.
Yeah.
You can be funny again on Twitter. Fuck off, dude. Anyway.
What did where is Meta now?
It was under 100. It was like 97.
It is.
7?
It's back up to 99.
Okay.
20. Wow, that's really low though compared to where it's been.
Oh my god, it was like that's a huge crash. And people were like, "Oh shit, that means because Amazon went down like a quarter or whatever, and then Meta and people are like, well, tomorrow when the market opens, Apple's gonna tank too. Everything's going to hell." And then Apple just shot through the fucking roof because everyone pulled their money from shitty places and just put it in the fucking piggy bank, which is Apple.
Yeah. It's lower than. I'm trying to see. The last time it was this low was October 1st of 2015.
And the $99 in 2015 are not $99 in 2022. So,
no.
Like,
wow, that's a drop. That is a drop.
Yeah.
Its peak was 300, just under 380 a share of August 1st, 2021.
Wow. Whoa. It's like a year later.
It shed two-thirds of its value in a year.
Wow.
That's not good. When does Zuck get kicked out?
Seriously, like what are you doing for this company? Besides spiking it,
wrecking it,
Earth. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Makes me want to go back and watch Social Network.
Yeah, there you go. Good music.
Oh my god, dude, Trent Reznor, like his pivot to like soundtracks, man. Fuck, he's really...
unexpected but awesome.
But awesome, yeah, exactly. I love, some of our favorite groups from the 90s, the longevity they've had is pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Not Nirvana, but some of the others.
I mean,
didn't last.
No, of course not. But you did get Foo Fighters from that,
yes,
and
God.
That they've lasted.
Yep. I mean, Beck is still playing, which is
Beck is still playing. What did I see Beck just do recently? He did a collaboration with somebody, and I was like, it's Beck still and good, he's still good.
Yeah, he's still good. It's crazy.
But yeah, what else is going on in video games? Let's think about video games.
Well, that's
crap.
That Spencer interview, he said that Game Pass might go up eventually. Like, yeah.
It's true. As everything will go up in price, and I don't know. There's still a thing that irritates me about all that, because that was also after the fact that Microsoft and Microsoft Games itself has had the best
banner years, yeah,
quarter of it, because this is the end of the first fiscal quarter,
right?
And it had the best fiscal quarter that's had in 20 years.
Yeah.
And then they're talking about raising prices as well,
right? Which
you're like, of course, okay.
More profit. How do we bring more from this stuff?
Yeah. And I feel like every company is doing that right now and has been. It's just kind of absurd in the ridiculous way of being like, well, I guess we can, so we're doing it.
Corporate profits are the biggest they've ever been. We need more. So for those of us down here at the bottom, it's pretty fucking hard. So you're gonna make us pay more for like the things that we want.
Yep.
That's And
Nvidia with 4090s.
Holy shit.
And now
what the fuck, Anthony?
But I mean, they're still $1,600 graphics card that
are like lighting on fire.
Well, the connector is. Just get a. I'm like, well, one, their connector shouldn't be crap. But I feel like they should have probably waited to launch them until there was actually like ATX 3.0 power supplies on the market.
Yeah.
I think there's like 2 total ATX 3.0 power supplies that just have that adapter naturally on them.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the 12 plus 4 whatever thing that they're like, no, to use it on a non ATX 3.0 power supply. You've got to like feed in 4 PCIe 8 pins
Right.
to. It's just like that seems bad. Why would we do that?
The engineering here is yikes, and it's just like a such a at least as to an idiot like me, it seems like such a cheap part. Like,
Oh yeah, their adapter is like, and it's not. It's their Nvidia's adapter. Like there are other adapters from what I've seen in some of the videos that are, yeah, it's a cheap part. They cheaped out on 4 wires because they're like, oh, we can just wire the thing up with 8 wires to 12 pins. Work because of how the pins are laid out, that will work just fine. Where a higher quality adapter would have an individual wire for every single pin.
yeah,
So things like this may not happen as easily, just higher tolerance. But no, they were like, someone decided they wanted to save a few cents per adapter.
we need to.
Why it matters on a $1,600 graphics card, I don't know.
Well, the spreadsheet. We gotta get the spreadsheet down. We gotta get the numbers on
Yeah.
the spreadsheet down. Like, oh fuck, man. And it's hindsight, but I'm
Yeah.
sure I can't imagine they didn't test this and like see a few things light up and like, oh, that's a not something that will be typical. And now here you go, red ring of death sort of thing going on.
Yeah.
But at least it's not. I guess it's not harming the rest of the card or the rest of the computer. It's just burning out the adapter.
Yeah, the adapter, and I mean it's still kind of melting some plastic, so
Mm-hmm.
sounds like the cards still work, but I don't think I'd want
No.
an adapter
No.
melting the plug that it goes into as well. Like,
No.
again, you pay $1,600 for this thing.
You expect it not to melt down.
I expect it to be the highest quality here.
We told you it'd be face melting graphics.
I guess it is. It melts itself. It's
Yes,
too fast.
exactly.
It's too much power. Just another reason why I think that AMD is probably going to make some ground this next GPU cycle.
Let me
Just-
get some more AMD stock.
I don't think it would be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Let them. I bet they'll drop a bit because it feels like in general, for PC hardware and like chips and stuff, demand has gone down.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like it's just everything. As far as I can tell, you can get most things in stock now, minus 4090s because
Well,
they
yeah.
did not put out that many.
Crypto went down like crazy. So
Yeah.
see, AMD's at 62 right now. When I bought into AMD, it was 100. No, 90. I think I bought it at 90. So I'm underwater on AMD. But
Yeah,
it was at
that's-
the beginning of the year. It was like 150. So 143. I mean, no, 152. Sorry.
Doesn't surprise me. Like it's just because overall demand, and like AMD has said it, like, hey, chip demand is down.
Yep.
Like people aren't buying as much. Inflation is going to hurt us.
Yep.
Because people won't have as much money to spend on computer hardware.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Just how it is. But it feels like everything's coming back into alignment in some ways.
I mean,
where,
things are coming
where
back
it
down
should
to
be.
earth. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck Meta, but like, yeah, AMD, like that was way high, and some of the other valuations were just crazy. So I think the bubble burst a bit. I mean, things were
did.
going crazy during COVID. So.
Yeah, I think that really, clearly disrupted the market when it came to PC hardware.
Yeah.
Completely, like everything.
Oh yeah. Let's see, where is
So, I don't know. So that's been insane. But I don't. Back to the thing. It's just the price increase on like Game Pass. I'm like, do you really need to? Really?
No, I just feel like for sure no, but like the value is so crazy that if they could kick some of that money back to the devs, which they won't, but if they could.
No, because that's not how it works.
Yeah, exactly. I wish that's how it would work.
This is not a thing of, oh, look at, they played our game this many times, that's how we pay them. It's a upfront thing that you negotiate, as far as I can tell.
Yes. Exactly.
It's like,
Yeah.
you present us a number that you think your game is worth to be on Game Pass, and we'll say yes or no.
Yeah.
Um,
But I feel like it might be in line with like maybe having first party games finally, like new ones at least coming on Game
Sure.
Pass. I feel like they haven't had that many. Halo Infinite,
Sure.
I guess. Flight Simulator.
yeah, they really haven't had a ton yet.
No, it feels like every year is like next year is gonna be a banger, but then it just doesn't happen. Like what
It
the
has
fuck?
not.
Yeah.
It has not happened yet.
Pentiment's coming
Ah,
out next month though, I think. So I'm excited about that.
there you go. Um,
Technically first party now because it's Obsidian.
yeah, there's the Obsidian stuff coming out, and who knows when the next Obsidian uh, game is coming out. After Pentiment, like the big. Oh, Grounded came out though.
Oh,
Grounded
that's
hit
true. Yep, yep,
1.1.
yep, yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
Um,
Some reason I thought that was free to play anyways. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, it's free on
It's a
Game
free on Game
Pass.
Pass, but I mean like if you don't have Game
No,
Pass, you buy it or is it free to
you
play?
buy it.
Oh,
Steam,
okay.
it's pay on Steam. Um,
Okay.
Pentiment is the next one. Avowed at some point
Right.
potentially, and then Outer Worlds 2 at
Yep.
some point.
Yep.
That's what Obsidian is making, but Pentiment's the only one that's been dated from them.
And is
And
it
then we
November, mid-November?
let's see, it was just at it. November 15th.
Yeah, right in the middle. Right when I'm gonna be in Ragnarok. Post-election Ragnarok time.
Rock, there you go.
I've never like nothing has ever been so perfectly timed. I don't. It says that it's coming out on the 9th. That's a Wednesday. Why is it coming out on a Wednesday?
I don't know. That's a weird one.
Because do you see that too? That's coming out on the 9th, or do I have it wrong?
God of War Ragnarok. Release date. No, I mean IGN says it's the 9th.
Yeah. What the fuck?
I would generally trust them.
Yeah.
Like that's weird. I mean, there's no specific. That's the thing with game release. They can happen whenever.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
there is no like what was it? Was it CD Tuesday?
Oh yeah. Exactly.
Like that was like the record industry setting like no, that's when CDs come out.
Yep.
And then video games and other media tended to piggyback on that.
Yeah.
But there is no governing body saying when anything has to come out for a game. Nintendo will tell you that. They're like, we like Fridays and
Yep.
Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I don't know. Because. But yeah, November 9th. So plenty of time for you to figure out if you're cheering or crying before playing.
We won't know, because like the election happens and then they're gonna count ballots for like a week. So who
Okay.
the fuck knows? It's a perfect time to just like hibernate.
Yeah, because you're like, I can't do anything. It's
I
just
I don't know, yay or nay. But then I just peeked at my calendar and I was like, ugh, why didn't I block off like 2 days before?
I don't know.
Wow, this is terrible. Although I do see something there. I have on the 9th I have something from 4 to 5, but I have nothing else the rest of the day. And you know what? I am blocking the rest of the fucking day off.
Good plan.
I need to sleep.
Yeah.
And anyone who works with me who heard that, I don't care. I'm just gonna put into my calendar sleep, and then if anyone sees it, they can just, yeah. I've done a service for our college, so I get to sleep a little bit. Hopefully, I've done a
Nice.
service. I guess we'll see.
I'm not looking. I was saying that forgot that God of War and God of War Ragnarok, Bear McCreary did the music for him.
Yeah, and what was
I was like, oh wow, okay. I mean, he does a bunch of stuff.
oh, was it
he's
Lord of the Rings?
Rings of Power.
Yeah,
He did the music
that's
for
it.
Rings of Power.
Mhm.
Um, he's done the music for just tons of TV stuff. But I was like, oh, I mean, he's done other game stuff. He's doing Forspoken as well
Oh,
with Gary Scheinman, who did BioShock Infinite, and I think
Wow.
BioShock. He did Call of Duty Vanguard. But he's doing the music for The Witcher Blood Origin.
he is?
Yeah,
Now I'm even more excited. I like his music.
I do too. Ever since I think it was the Battlestar Galactica was the first thing I heard him do was the
Nice.
reboot, and he did just incredible work there.
Pretty sure he did God of War 2018.
He did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he did. He was the.
Maybe Red Dead 2? Or I'm conflating those maybe because they're the same year.
No, I don't. No,
Okay.
not game wise. Game wise, like probably the God of War 2018 and now Ragnarok are probably his biggest
Hmm.
game credits.
Yeah.
I mean, Call of Duty Vanguard was pretty big too for him. So, but he's been mostly in TV and film before that, but a lot of TV.
Yeah. That's where I know him from, or I've seen before games. Um, man, like fuck, God of War Ragnarok is gonna be a fucking spectacle. I texted my co-president, who is also a gamer. Um, she I was like, this couldn't be more perfectly timed for a date, and I think she said, she's like, yeah, that's too violent for me. The DLC for Outer Wilds is coming out, and I was like, is it possibly the same day? Can't be, but if it were, like, man, for both of us to have something that's timed for the 9th would be just like make me like believe in God a little bit. Speaking of, by the way, unrelated, took my daughter out to go to the Spider-Man museum down in San Diego, and that was closed for a little bit due to some police activity. So went to a couple other museums, and she had a great day. It was a great day. But we wandered into a free art museum, like a really fancy fine art museum, and there was like just like a 30-foot tall, 10-foot wide, realistic painting of Jesus hanging on the cross. And she's just like, she didn't say it like this, but she's like, Daddy, what the fuck is that? I'm trying to explain the mythos of Jesus from a lay perspective, from a religious perspective, and the guy next to me is just like looking at me like, what the fuck? And then tonight at bedtime, she's like, what was that? And I was like, kind of telling her a little bit about who Jesus was and the stories people tell. Did he really die like that, or did he die naturally? I was like, well, it's complex.
It's not. I think whenever our kids were like that, we're just like, it's a religious thing. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, I didn't want to get into that because I'd be like, what's religion? It's like, okay, you know what? It is 8 o'clock. I'm not getting into this right now. I don't want to scare you even more.
Yeah.
So hell.
So Christianity. Let's go. Sit down, kid. You're gonna be here for a while.
Let me tell you about 2,000 years of history. Oh my god. But just the guy's face, he was just like, what the fuck are you saying to your daughter?
He's like, I'm trying to explain to my young daughter who has no concept of any of this.
Exactly.
In some way that I.
So pretend life. So.
So it's a picture. It's an artist did this thing. There's a story about it. We can talk about it later when you're older.
She was like, it's scary? Why is it in a museum if it's scary? I was like, some people like to be scared. She's like, are adults scared of that too? I was like, yes.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. In ways that are not exactly what you mean.
There's a whole wide spectrum of fear for this. Maybe unique to everybody in some way.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh boy.
Man.
Yeah, those are fun conversations to have with your kids, tell you that.
Oh boy, I gotta get prepped for this. I was like,
I have to get
go
pretty. I mean, I don't know if I've had to have major stuff, but I mean, it has come up at times. Then straight up, I was like, I think my son at one point is like, probably in the last year or two, he's like, what do you believe? Do you have a religion? I'm like, nope. I'm what you call an atheist. People don't like me. He's like, what's that? I'm like, I don't know. I just think it's all stories. Let's.
Yep. Some stories. At least I can fall back on. I'm a UU, which is you could believe whatever you want.
I mean that's also I did go to UU as well, and that was also fine. I was like, I could go that. I could say that.
Yep. It makes things easier for me sometimes. Not for my daughter, obviously, but for other people.
I'm sure in certain things.
Yeah. Exactly.
In your line of work and everything, it helps. And people you have to interact with.
That's for me, the community, but
yeah.
Not since
Never,
COVID, but
never stuck for me,
yeah.
unfortunately. Went to one for a while.
Was it was it Jacob's church when we were in high school and we went and played and the guy was like, "You're going to hell."
No, when was that? That was no.
I was practicing for the
That
talent show.
Yeah, and that was the God. Who was the drummer for your
Oh,
band?
it was fucking Brett.
It was his church.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wait, I need to leave.
Yeah, we're like
You're going to hell. Okay, that's fine.
that
I'll
was
see you there. Oh my god, Nine Inch Nails. Bring it all back.
that was weird. That was Oh boy. Okay, yeah, that's a weird memory.
That's what I'm here for. Weird memories.
Yeah. Uh,
I like freeform
uh,
podcasts. Talk about whatever. Okay.
yeah,
Here
pretty
we go.
much.
There was something else gaming related that we were going to talk about though, and I fucking forgot about it. Oh no, it was the more
No.
Elena Taylor drama.
Oh yeah.
Where
Can
she
it just get it deeper? Really? Like, I mean, what? She just was like, "Hey, don't still, that thing I said about only be paying 4,000." Well, it wasn't completely like tr- she tried to split hairs on what she said before,
mm-hmm.
and then like how I'm like going like, well, she wasn't lying. Like, I'm like, you're misrepresenting at minimum
Yes.
what happened. But she's like, still, don't buy the game. Donate the money to a number of these charities, and it was a tweet and linked a bunch of charities and through their different profiles there. And one of them was Billboards for Life in Kentucky.
Oh my god.
I mean, I look at a lot of the links now that she posted. I'm pretty sure that she's pretty devout Catholic. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say.
Bayonetta. Wow, interesting.
Why not? I mean, yeah, but I'm like, a lot of these charities have Catholic roots, so in some way that you're linking here, none of them are as like extreme as Billboards for Life, but
Yeah.
but I'm like, I think there might be a trend there. British Catholicism's pretty popular in the UK, I believe, isn't it?
I'm gonna go with yes because you sound informed on that.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think. I'm like, I see a lot of like UK media, and there seems to be a trend of like someone typically being Catholic in these different TV shows and stuff. Like, so it must be around, and not an uncommon thing if it's being used as like
I thought the Brits were Protestant,
they typically are.
and then Ireland is Catholic. So like they're typically not Catholic. They're Protestant.
That
What's the difference? I mean, I'm sure there's something. some
I mean that we could go through
some
all of
foundational explanation that I understand. Someone nailed something to a door somewhere.
they split at some point because
Mhm.
I mean it all split off of
There was
Catholicism.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
back in the day.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just one of those things where you're like, huh. She just keeps digging that hole deeper, and I'm also like, that's fine. You can just go away now. It's
Yeah,
okay.
it's kind of
Just
it's been enough.
yeah, you're probably done in video games. Although I don't think you cared about being in video games at all anymore, considering I'm pretty sure that Bayonetta was the only video game role that she's done.
Yep.
So
Well, it's sold. I don't know if it's sold well, but it's reviewed well. It's like 89 on Metacritic.
I
People
was
are
wondering how it was going to do.
people who are like, you like those kind of action games, like the Devil May Cry kind of things. That Bayonetta 2, obviously, like this is fucking it. The only problem with it is it's on the Switch,
That's what I was going to say. I'm like,
and it hiccups every once in a while.
yeah. I mean, I saw some gameplay of it, and it totally looked like it hiccup. Just some frame drops here and there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it's on the Switch.
Yep. God damn it, make a Switch Pro. Ugh.
But I mean, I guess Nintendo's the one funding this, so
Yeah,
it's
and
going to be on the
Kamiya,
Switch.
yeah, Kamiya was like just deeply indebted to Nintendo for this. Like they, how long has it been since they announced it even? But without Nintendo, there wouldn't have been a 2, and certainly not a 3.
Yeah.
I kind of want to buy it. I kind of want to play that game. But I kind of, I'm going to be playing Ragnarok. I do want to play Pentiment, and at some point this year, they say Witcher 3 is going to get its fucking PS5
Oh
remake.
yeah.
And then when that happens, I'm dropping fucking everything.
Oh, that was the news. Witcher 1 remake.
Yeah, there we go. That's right. There was some big news.
That was a nice change. I mean, to go with Cavill now leaving the Witcher TV series,
Boo.
but we are getting a remake of the first Witcher game. That was one of the codename projects, was Canis Majoris,
Yeah.
I believe, was the codename that they announced a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And now they're just like, no, that's a Witcher 1 remake with another Polish dev team.
Yep. I forget their name, but it's got people from that's worked on The Witcher before, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth doing because, my God, is The Witcher 1 a painful game?
Mhm. Didn't it also have like sex cards or something?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if
I'm
gonna
curious
keep
if they're
that.
going to keep the card.
Yeah.
I'm like the collectible cards.
Yes, exactly.
You sleep with someone, you get a card. Yeah. It's just a rough game because it was what did they do? They licensed the Aurora engine. Is that it? It was whatever Neverwinter Nights was made on. They licensed it from BioWare. To make the first Witcher, so it looks like Neverwinter Nights.
Oh.
It's that engine. They just made their game on top of it.
Yeah.
But it's not real time with pause. It's an action game. So I played it, and it was very cumbersome to play that game and to do like combat and the mechanics. I just remember
like
dying
Witcher
a
3.
lot. I was just like, oh, this does not feel good.
I'm excited about that because obviously the story. I think the story of Witcher 1 takes place after the last novel, if I remember correctly. So yeah,
It does. All the games are post novels.
Okay. Ooh.
Kind of. I've been spoiled on the end of the series. I think it was. Were all the novels out at that point, or has there been more novels since?
They were out in Polish.
So
I don't know if he's done more.
do you care about spoilers for the end of the series?
I will forget them, so no.
Okay, so, and for anyone here who hasn't read all of The Witcher, I just wanted to know, I'm like, there's a lot of books. How does this end? It ends with him meeting Arthur.
Oh.
Like, it ties in with Arthurian legend. And like Merlin and all that.
Wow.
Not where I expected the thing to go.
Okay,
Like, from
I definitely
reading
won't
it.
forget that, and it doesn't matter.
I know. I'm just
yeah.
like, what is this? I'm like,
Yeah.
is that a satisfying ending? Like, is that?
I know. Endings. I mean, Stephen King always talks about how, and you saw this if you read all of The Dark Tower. The journey is awesome. The ending sucks because you just can't put an ending that justifies often the middle, or how you got there. So, well, sure, we'll put Merlin in here. Fucking great. Okay.
Yeah, it was. Well, I think the last book. Yeah, it's called The Lady of the Lake.
Mhm.
One nice reference there, and it has like Sir Galahad of King Arthur's Knights of the Round Table.
Yeah.
Stumbles upon Ciri, and Ciri is talking to him, of like
Wow.
telling him a story, and it's just this crazy. I guess that's the thing. That's how it ties in. It just like makes Arthurian legend as part of the world, and like at the end, Galahad invites Ciri to Camelot,
What the fuck? Like, she's like, that's like
and
the
she
jump the shark.
accepts,
Jump
and
the
they
shark.
ride away to go to Camelot.
Whoa.
And I'm like, that's it? That's the end of the books? What? To me, I'm just like, is that okay? Is that where I want like the Witcher stories to go? Ciri to become like, yeah, goes and becomes part of the court of Camelot.
Huh.
So,
I guess that's a left turn.
it is a really big left turn to read when I was just like, what the hell does the ending of this? And being like, I remember reading that firsthand and being like, what? These take place in the same mythology?
So how
now?
wait a second then. If the games are post novels. Where's Merlin? Where's Arthur?
That's the thing. I don't.
It's a different timeline or canon or
It
something.
has to be at this point, like where the games decide that they're splitting from. Because
Or
that was the part that was weird to me. I was like, well, because that was, I think, why I read it in the first place, because I was trying to get a sense of like where the games stories kind of tie in or start or um and I think at some point I guess it just they don't. um
all right. I guess Witcher One starts with Geralt coming out of um,
uh,
King Arthur's court or something. Like,
no. I mean, that's not what the start of the first game is at all.
no,
Like,
but I'm excited about the remake because I haven't experienced that because I know how chunky the game is.
hmm
Clunky, I guess even. And I went back and started Witcher 2, and even that was a little rough. Even though it's more modernized, obviously. So I'm
yeah, I
hoping
mean,
this means they're going to do Witcher 2 as well.
I would think if it does well, they'll try to bring them all up to um, some basic standard. But yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited for it. I would totally try it again. I didn't get hugely far into the first one.
Yeah.
Um,
I bet you'll stick with it longer because the mechanics are
yeah, and I
hopefully
got to
better.
collect those cards.
Yeah, maybe one of them is having sex with Guinevere or whatever. Like,
Jeez.
oh, there's the connection. Got it. Weird shit. Yeah, but Cavill is moving on doing Superman, so he's done with Geralt, and Liam
Yeah,
Hemsworth
Hemsworth.
is coming in,
Um,
guy from the Hunger Games.
yep, and also the younger brother of
Thor.
Thor. Yeah. Um, sad to see Cavill go, but
Oh man.
it doesn't sound like he was asked to leave. I think he left. Like
Yeah. Other things to
contract
do.
negotiations are up. You've wrapped up this season. Are you signing up for another season? And he's like, no, I'm gonna go do this.
I know there are rumors about the writers' room and whatever, but Cavill did express disappointment with the fact that they had drifted away from the storyline of the books. And I know that's not why he's leaving, but I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, maybe if he was felt more on board with it, he would consider staying. I still feel like if put up there, he gets to play Superman again and get a lot of money for playing Superman again
Yeah.
or playing Geralt. I still think he would choose Superman, honestly,
Yeah.
from a career standpoint.
Right.
Just being like, yeah. And it's been rumored that he has some role in the MCU as well going forward.
Not.
I don't know who he's, but I've seen his
Like,
name
Marvel
come
by
up.
DC. Wait, what's happening?
No, but I mean, did DC buy Marvel a little bit? Yes, because they're now being co-run. Their movies are being co-run by James Gunn, who did
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy for
Right.
Marvel, and then he did Suicide Squad. Not
Yeah.
the first Suicide Squad, the second good Suicide Squad.
Let's clarify.
That actually understood what the hell it was trying to be, which would be funny as fuck.
Did that already come out? I don't even know.
Yeah, it came out, and he did Peacemaker as well for
Oh, yeah.
HBO
That's
Max.
right.
Again, he does like superhero comedy. He's not a person that's about like angsty emo superheroes. He wants to find the fun in it. They're comic books. They should be fun.
Yep.
And so he'll be co-running DC for Warner Brothers now. So
Maybe
that's
they'll get better.
insane.
Maybe the DCEU will get better.
Hey, there's been like weird rumors that I'm very grain of salt this, but it would be hilarious if true, being like, hey, Kevin Feige, do you want to do a DC Marvel crossover?
Oh my God. That
Like
would be
10 years. If they can get, I think, here's the thing. I bet Marvel would do it if DC got their shit together.
Yes. Right now they
Totally
wouldn't.
would.
It's like, why?
They wouldn't, but it's like let DC, if DC can show that they can make consistently good movies and build as well, I totally could see that at some point being like, yeah, let's do a crossover.
That would
The
be.
comics did it eventually, have done it a number of times.
Yeah, of course.
So
That could be fucking amazing. But you have to
it
have, like,
could be.
like with Infinity Ward, like you really have to build it up for it to pay off.
Yeah.
Um, and right now, no, no. Um, wow, cool. Well, I like James Gunn. I love Guardians of the Galaxy, so
Yeah. It's interesting that he decided to go over there and do it, but uh, I think he's wrapped Guardians of the Galaxy 3, or he's still doing that for Marvel, or it should be almost done.
yeah,
So he'll finish that up, and then, but he's always said that the third one was the final one for him
yeah,
on that. Like that was the end of the story that he wanted to tell.
yeah.
So yeah, no. Hopefully that's good, and they'll get those movies kind of on track and some semblance of where they can go, and they can use those heroes to, I don't know, their full potential a little bit.
Yeah,
They
because
kind of feel like they've been wasting them. I'll
they
be
have
honest.
been, to be honest. There's been some good Batman stuff, and that's kind of
Yeah,
it. I mean, I
yeah,
don't know. That's not true. I think the first Wonder Woman I thought was good. Um, but it's just so, just with the Batman thing, like, but it
yeah.
just kind of infuses everything else so dark and brooding and just, ugh. Um, although I liked the Joker, but that was a very different kind of story.
Yes.
It was still fucking dark, but I don't know. Joaquin Phoenix was just the one who sold that for me. So
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, that was some news there.
crazy.
Was there anything else going on? How's out that
Uh,
Gotham? Oh, taking a Batman. Gotham Knights is a mess.
Man, I feel so bad for that studio because the Batman the Arkham game they did that I'm blanking on the name of right now. Origins.
Arkham.
Origins.
Yeah,
Kind of didn't, I don't know, set the world on fire, and people kind of look at it as the black sheep of the Arkham games, and then this like just I feel bad for them. WB Montreal. I
yeah,
I still want to pick this up when I'll probably pick it up Black Friday time when it's probably reduced. Um, it looks sort of fun, but
yeah. That's kind of what I've seen as people are like it's kind of fun, bit repetitive. Performance sucks.
ugh, that's terrible, man.
I mean, we had the little chat in Discord about it, but basically, once I saw the Digital Foundry thing on it, and they're saying like, look it's like totally CPU bound. I'm like, I immediately went and looked at what engine it was on, and was like, oh, it's Unreal 4. Yep, it's Unreal 4 for an open world game. I'm actually intimately aware of this. And going, wow, there's a lot of pitfalls for making an open world game in Unreal Engine 4. And if you don't know about them from the start, you're going to put yourself in a very bad place towards the end of development, and you're not going to be able to fix it
Dang.
because you've just developed all your assets the wrong way.
And you have to go back and redo all of it to make it work.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah.
Like you've already committed all the time to it. Like it's not just like, oh, clean up some lines of codes here over like a month. It's like, no, go rebuild. It's not necessarily the art side of it. It's just like go rebuild all the logic under the hood
Yeah.
and make new systems, because you can't have that many things in populated into the world doing things under the hood. You just can't. And Unreal likes to have lots of things under the hood doing things, and if you don't know it's doing that and don't account for that whenever you start, yeah, you're just gonna blow up.
How did they not know this?
That's the first time using this engine, and it's not apparent because it's something that doesn't show up. Like you'll be playing it, probably performance was great for a long time,
Yeah.
and it just tipped over at some point, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Wow, that's using a lot of." Oh, we can't. The CPU's not. We're basically clocking the CPU now. Like we're just not. We don't have room per frame anymore to do calculations. How'd that happen?
But other devs have this knowledge base. Wouldn't that be shared, or is it just this something that's become more
That's funny. You
aware
think we
now?
we don't talk to each other?
Oh, well, that'll do it. Ugh, that'll
I
do
mean,
it.
it just depends.
Yeah.
It's the first thing, and like I think there's a lot there where I don't think I think it's easy. It's one of those things that's very, unless you do a lot of your own due diligence up front, you're not going to notice it. You're not going to see that like, oh, we're going to have to do X, Y, and Z from the start and how we build this game to make Unreal and not use, I should say, not use certain systems that Unreal already has pre-built in. Or
Yeah.
we're going to have to roll our own stuff for this. Like that's the thing. Unreal's a very powerful engine for specific things, and it allows you the freedom to roll your own solutions for lots of things, but you have to know when to do that. And it's not going to tell you when to do that. You just hopefully have people there that know. Um,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. I'm like, if it's a lot of their team came from the previous game, which was a previous Unreal Engine, Unreal Engine 3, but that's a three Unreal Engines 3 and 4 are very different from each other. 4 was kind of a big revamp of the entire engine, how you interact with it, how you build things in it, whole thing. Um, and so there could be assumptions coming across from work on UE3, like, oh, we can do it this way, and no, or just generally like, yeah, they just didn't know at the start. I've heard that was like one of the issues with Vampire Bloodlines 2 and why it was having development issues.
Yeah.
Is they wanted to do a big open world thing in UE4 and did not properly plan for it from the start. Um,
Well, that
and
game.
hit
Yeah. Go ahead.
and hit these same kind of CPU and performance stuff, but it never went out. Like it's just back in development.
Right.
It
Exactly.
got moved to a different studio,
Yeah.
and Paradox pulled it from Hardsuit and gave it to a different studio.
Yeah.
Who I bet is having to rethink some pretty core architectural pieces of that to
Like,
make
we
it work.
can't fix this. We're gonna just redo the whole thing. God.
Kind of
God.
big parts of it,
Yeah.
probably.
That's rough.
Yeah. I think there's some of that. Whenever you get a pre-built engine and tech, you're keen to just be like, oh, I can just start making stuff with this. This is great. I can just go and use what they give me. Because why would they give me something that could screw me? And unfortunately, no engine is perfect. They're gonna give you things. It's like it will work for you if you do this very specific type of game and a specific structure. As soon as you deviate from that, you're gonna have to do your own stuff
Yeah.
on top of it.
Right.
So that's my thought based on that Digital Foundry thing is for people who use Unreal, they left a lot of actors ticking in the background that they shouldn't have.
Things you don't even see, like that aren't even near you in the game, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so there's probably just a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that needs to be turned off basically
Right.
somehow or managed. And this is another technical term. They should not be actors is a technical term in Unreal. They should just be static objects with one actor, which is a manager, or not even an actor, some behind the scenes code management system that is managing all of them.
Right.
So that it's not taking up all these different CPU cycles. It's just this one thing managing a bunch of things.
That'd be like a crowd all moving together or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot you have to consider whenever doing open world, big map stuff in Unreal. And it's a 4. 5, Epic has added a lot to Unreal Engine 5, which is actually very close to 4. Like you can take your Unreal 4 projects and take them to Unreal 5. No problems
So
for
if-
the most part.
Let's say Gotham Knights developers did that. Would it fix anything automatically, or would it be like
No, they still have to do stuff.
Yeah.
It's just there's systems in place in 5 where if you build an open world game in 5, it will probably have much better performance just from the get-go.
Yeah.
Because it's the engine is meant to handle open worlds for the most part.
Right.
So you live and learn, and you get games like Gotham Knights, and that's why poorly performing games come out.
Yep.
Because
They're already too far in.
yeah, you're too far in before you know it, and it's just like, well, no way that WB Games is giving them a year and a half to fix this.
Yeah.
So they don't have the budget for it. So make it work the best you can and get it out the door.
And then suffer with shitty reviews where people are like, nah, I'm not gonna buy that.
Yep.
I feel like
But
user reviews are somewhat positive. Like on Steam right now, it's mostly positive. I think people are finding the fun in it, but That might be PC being different than console.
Kind of.
Like maybe I'd buy it on PC instead of console.
I think PC would be the better place to go.
Yeah.
Although that's where the Digital Foundry thing was showing because they were comparing it on PC, and it didn't really matter how good the processor was; they were still screwed.
Oh,
Like it
man,
just
that
bottlenecked no matter
Yeah.
what. They tried it with and then the GPU didn't even matter. They like tried it with a 4090 and like 3080 and I think a 2070. And like the graphics cards themselves barely moved the needle in performance. Because it was so CPU bound, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I feel bad. Um, but that's how it goes. Unfortunately, they just didn't. I guarantee you, they just didn't have the budget to fix it. The
Yep.
time and the budget.
Absolutely. Game development, this is how it goes. And people who are disappointed will have a new game to play just around the corner, which is
It's true.
God of War.
It's so true.
God of War. Speaking of that, what have you been playing?
Persona 5.
Oh, nice, on Switch.
Yeah,
How
it's
does
great
it
on
play?
Switch. It's great. No
Nice.
issues. I don't even notice a frame rate difference. I'll be honest.
Oh, really? Okay.
I guess it was probably only 30 FPS on PlayStation because it was PS4 when I was playing it. Maybe it did 60 on PS5. I don't know, but I can't tell. I'm like, just the way the art is, it doesn't really matter. Like it feels like an anime, so 30 fits. But other than that, I mean, it's the exact same game. It's just funny because I'm just playing it and I'm like, I could play other things, but it just flows so easily into the next day,
Yeah.
the next day. Like the whole beginning just sets up the mechanics very smoothly.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh right, I'm back into this game now. Okay. It's so good. I love that game so much.
Reminds me of when you played Stardew Valley, where you're like, I just want to see what happens this day, and
Yep.
then the next, and then 5 days later, 2 hours later, whatever, you're still going.
Yeah, Stardew Valley totally had that. That, well, okay, New Day start. I said I was gonna stop, but New Day, I should just at least go out and see what's going on. And then you're already like halfway through your day, and you're like, well, fine, I just got to finish this day then. Like, there's no reason not to. Rinse and repeat for multiple extra hours.
Good gameplay loops, man. They
Yeah.
go a long way.
So I mean, I've played. That's really all I've been playing, and I haven't played. Only probably played like 5 or 6 hours. Not a huge game week for me right now, unfortunately.
Me neither. What do I have to report? I played a little bit of Marvel Snap, which I've just heard so much good stuff about it on the podcast I listened to. I loaded up and played, and I'm like, okay, I get this. It's fun. It doesn't seem revolutionary to me.
Nope.
In any way, but it's definitely clean. They've cut out all the bullshit. It's just like very clean. 3 areas. You have to own 2 of them by the end with your power level. That's it. All right.
Yep.
Got
You got 5 turns, 6 turns.
6 turns. Yeah.
It's super quick in that way. Just
I like that.
Game, go.
Yep.
What's no more than 4 cards at a location.
Yeah.
Just go and win, and then you can just keep going. And I haven't played it since it's been out. I watched a streamer play it in beta a lot, and I was like just curious on the mechanics there. And it seems like everything came across really well, and it sounds like the monetization is really nice.
It is nice. The curve is nice, where like you could, there's like a welcome pack, which is kind of cool, but then you could like, it's all visual.
Yeah,
Visual
because you
upgrades.
don't buy cards.
No.
As far as I know, is like you just play and you unlock cards.
Well, I mean, the welcome pack has like a Captain America card that you could get through gameplay anyways. So
Okay.
I think technically you could buy that card.
But you get it, it's just getting it early, not
Yeah,
actually.
exactly. Yeah, you could get it later. It's just mainly visual upgrades, which are kind of cool. Like the first one's like break the frame or whatever, and then
frame breaker.
Yeah, frame breaker, and it kind of goes on from there. So I thought, I love the quickness of it. I think it plays well on that small screen. The strategy is nice, where there are different things that your cards do and different things that the areas do, and they interact in such a nice tight way that it's never it doesn't feel unfair. It just feels very well planned and thought out. Like it feels like fucking polished in terms of how the different powers interact. So far, at least, I've only played probably
Yeah.
I don't know 15 matches or so. So
Believe the lead designer of this was
Hearthstone,
Hearthstone's
yeah,
lead design, Ben Broads.
fucking clearly.
Ben Brode.
Like think about the way that the avatars and the fucking voice lines and like it feels like Marvel Hearthstone in a different kind of almost like Hearthstone plus MOBA. Like we got 3 lanes,
Okay.
um, so it's nice. I really enjoy it. So there's that, and then I played a little bit of Mario 3D World with my wife, which was cool. Just her and I played through a couple levels, and then I played. Oh, you know what? I've been playing quite a bit of Yoshi with my daughter, um, and then played some Bowser's Fury again with my daughter today, and make some progress on that because I still, I've never beat that game, and I'd really like to. But whenever I play with her, it's like, here's the cat shines we need to get, and she's like, oh, cool, oh, shiny over here, and she just runs away. It's like, I need you. Oh, fuck. Okay, well, I'll come back for that when I'm playing by myself. But I've never played that game by myself, so I have not made the progress. I feel like I could, if I put a good 3 hours into that game, 4 hours, I'd probably beat it. But we're just running around to the same areas, doing the same things because she likes to do the same things over and over again. But we haven't played that game in like 6 months or 8 months, and she's way better with a controller now, so she's able to do a bunch of stuff today that she wasn't able to do before. But then she found Plessy, and she's like, I just want to ride Plessy. She just rode Plessy around all the water. But honestly, that's it. If I were to calculate all of my time I played video games, 98% of it would be with my daughter in the morning, and then 2% would be Marvel Snap.
Okay.
It's just soon. Once we get to November 9th, then I'll be playing Ragnarok, and I'll be able to report more stuff. So.
Sounds good. Should we record next Sunday or wait post election?
We should record because at that
Okay.
point I'm not doing.
I guess what's done is done
What's
on
done
the
is done.
Sunday before
Exactly.
election Tuesday.
Exactly right. Other than like, any sort of get out the vote stuff we want to do in the morning of, but that's not even as big of a deal anymore because people have been voting already. Like we went walking around precincts this weekend. And it's like I already voted. Okay, cool. Did you vote for our guy? Yeah, I did. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. So it's good stuff. But yeah, let's record next week.
Okay, I want to make sure because, oh boy, do you want to run elections
Ever
more?
Well,
Do you want to keep doing it?
if I'm in this role in 2 more years,
You'll do it again, I'm
Right.
sure. Like it or not.
But
Here
we'll
comes.
be way better at it. Like we had
I'd
to
hope.
we had to do a lot of stuff ourselves, and it was way better when we did it ourselves. So if we had been doing it ourselves from the beginning, we'd be even better. But I feel like we're in really good spots. So I feel
Nice.
confident. I feel good. I feel like it's been really good stuff. So now it's just stuff around the edges.
I mean, it's kind of like playing a game. I mean, everyone always talks about politics as a game, and it kind of is, and you can apply game theory to the whole thing. You're just playing a real life game at the moment.
Yep, with real people's lives at stake.
Yeah.
So in terms of what the opposition would want to do with our college, so yeah. All
Yikes.
right. Yeah.
Really,
Before
yikes.
I get deeper into that, we should probably turn off
Yeah.
the podcast. All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening. This was episode 358, I believe, of Prof and Dev Play Games. We're here every week, usually. Rate us on your podcast service of choice, and we shall be back next week to talk about the games that are coming up soon. I guess by the time we come next week, it'll be God of War reviews will be out, so we'll be able to talk about that.
I think so. Yeah.
Because the 3rd is the review embargo.
All right. Here it comes.
Yep, here it comes. All right, folks. We'll see you next week.
Later, everyone.